Hello and welcome everyone. What I've got set up here is the first scenario in the Normandy Breakthrough campaign from the second campaign book. This one is called Drop in the Night by the 82nd Airborne Division. It says that you don't need to place any badges next to the Allied troops, but in fact I did. I just like that. I do believe there are actually the 101st, but that's a detail I can live with. I don't even know if the game comes with badges for the 82nd Airborne, and if it does, I don't think I have enough of them. Anyway, I've already made the para drop. That's also something that's in the base game. You just drop a number of units indicated by the scenario from the height of the core game box on its side, and you can see that many of the Allied units were dropped here next to one another. This one over here, you actually had to aim for the battle stars that you can see here. There are a couple of them over here as well, so they're really scattered, and two of them unfortunately didn't make it. One landed off the board and the other one landed in the river, so they were lost. This first scenario goes up to 10 medals. The bridges and Saint-Marc-l'Église form, not actually quite sure if it's a temporary medal or a permanent medal. Let me have a quick look. Temporary medal objectives, so they can actually be retaken. Something else that's a feature in this scenario is that the night rules are used for visibility. Each turn, so each time the Allied player plays a card, they roll 4 dice, and for each star rolled, visibility increases by 1 up the charts, that is. So it might actually be a while until it actually increases, or it can increase just after 1 turn by a couple of steps. So that is something that's gone on. Also, reserve rolls were made. The Allies, among other things, rolled a flag, which would have allowed them to place a sandbag, which I actually did. I just placed it over here. I mean, as soon as a unit moves, you can remove it again. You have to remove it again. So I just thought, there's nothing lost by placing it. The Germans rolled an infantry unit. They actually rolled a special infantry unit, but the scenario campaign rules state, in this particular case for this scenario, that the Germans can only receive specialized tanks, or that's at least how I interpret it. So I just chose to pick a regular infantry instead. This does mean that I cannot deploy it in any future scenarios, because I've already used the 1 reserve token the Germans are entitled to. I haven't actually moved it onto the map yet. I've put it into the staging area. Why is that? I could have placed it somewhere else, but over here it's not really needed because there aren't even any Allied units over here. Here I didn't want to put it because it would be a relatively easy target for the Allied unit here. The Allies go first. Something that is important, if you don't manage to actually deploy it for whatever reason, and you do need spare figures for that, not from the box, but ones that actually get destroyed or are exited off the board, if such rules exist. So then you could actually lose them if you lose the scenario. So you are taking a bit of a risk, and it does also mean that the Germans won't be able to deploy any new reserve tokens for this part of the campaign. I'm actually intending on playing the entire campaign. That may take a while, so that includes the American part and the British part, so I believe it's a total of 9 or 12 scenarios or so. So that will actually take quite a few weeks, I suppose, to play, because I won't be able to play every day, but I've got this one set up and I intend to finish it today and let you know how it went. One thing I have noticed about the campaign book is that it would have been really easy to have a detailed description of what you do each and every turn before a scenario and after a scenario when it comes to reserve tokens, reserve rolls, bookkeeping and everything. It is all in the book, but it's not really handily displayed. I think I did find some kind of playwright on the internet in the file section on Board Game Geek, and that one was in Spanish, which is for me personally not a problem. And of course, there are numerous apps these days that you can also use to have it translated for you on the spot. But I couldn't really find an English one, but the Spanish one looks really great. So I will print it out soon. But for now, I wrote it down. But that is one thing that I have actually noticed that I find to be a bit lacking in the campaign book, just a clear overview of what happens before the scenario and afterwards when it comes to all the campaign rules and everything. So this is a bit of an introduction to the scenario. Well, a little bit about the strategy I intend to use. Well, a lot of it depends, of course, on the randomness of the line of sight rules. Well, not so much line of sight rules, but the visibility rules. But yeah, I will try to group the allies together, such as here. We'll try to take the victory objectives. This unit here will either have to go into the hedgerows to protect it a little bit from all the units next to it. The allies do actually receive a little bit later when you reach full daylight. They got to drop 3 more units, I believe. So they do actually get standard reinforcements in this scenario. So that's important to note as well. Yeah, and over here it's also just this lone allied unit. Well, there's one more over here, but yeah, I guess all it can do is seek cover and hope that the Germans don't really have a card for it right away until they manage to reinforce it a little bit. Might be an option to use one of these units and pull it back over here into the hedgerows or something like that. That's an option. But yeah, as you can see, the fact that 2 allied units didn't survive the drop, yeah, really puts them at a severe disadvantage, or at least that's how it looks to me. So this introduces the scenario a little bit. I'm going to play it now, and I'll get back to you and, well, bring you up to speed with how it went and everything. Thank you for watching.